Hello friends, welcome to Manohar Finance channel. Today I have come up with an interesting video. Let's understand the reason behind why US IT, tech stocks and software stocks are falling from last couple of days. On Feb 4th, IT stocks lost close to $142 billion of market capitalization. The reason behind the fall is because of two announcements made by Anthropic company about its AI tool called Claude Cowork. On Jan 30th, they announced launch of 11 specialized plugins, and on Feb 5th, they announced the launch of agent teams. In today's video, we will discuss about high-level functionality of the tool using industry-specific examples. We will also discuss how this is going to impact existing business models of Indian and US companies. Watch this video till end to get complete overview on this topic. On Feb 4th, US tech companies lost around $94.2 billion of their market cap. Similarly, Indian IT companies lost around $25.7 billion worth of market capitalization. Nifty IT index alone fell around 7%, and this is one of the worst fall in Nifty IT since 2020. There is fear among US companies that they will have to replace their SaaS offerings, which leads to fear of deflation. When it comes to Indian companies, prospered based on labor cost arbitrage. Now, there is increasing fear that this service model will collapse. As we progress in this video, we will be talking more about this using sector-specific examples. First, let's understand what Cloud AI tool is. Normally, companies like OpenAI are chat-based models. Let's say, for example, if we ask ChatGPT on how to book Tatkal ticket in IRCTC platform, it will process this information using large learning models, and it will give us a text-based answer, and we as humans will consume this information and follow the instructions to book the tickets. But in case of Cloud Coworks tool, this is an final outcome based tool. So it will ask its agent to orchestrate the activity and split this into subtasks like logging into the portal, finding the train with available tickets, and it will consider our preferences like whether we want to travel in AC or non-AC, etc. And it will book the ticket on our behalf. On Jan 30th, company also announced launch of these 11 specialized plugins. Example, if you see, these are the some of the examples of the plugins which were launched. Let's say productivity, product management, marketing, legal, etc. Now, let's say if a company wants to find an sales report for particular country and segment, if they use the data plugin, what this model or agent will do is it will write an SQL query, and it will explore the database, and it will generate visualizations and dashboards to give us the data. So this is how the AI tool is different from existing tools. And here if you can see, this is an sample screenshot of how the tool looks. Now when you log into the Cloud AI Coworks tool, you will have plugins. Let's say if you want to use this for sales, then we will have so many commands which will have to be used. Like for example, research prospect. So if you want to research prospects, we can use this plugin, and then we can ask the system to automate this process. So this is an overview of how the tool works. Let's take one example and understand how this tool works in detail. If you want to review 50 audit contracts, this tool will split the task, and it will compare these contracts against legal and risk frameworks of the company and also the company policies. Once this comparison is completed, it will show the exception scenarios which can be reviewed later by a human person. Earlier, US companies would outsource such jobs to India. Now they can use these plugins and compare the review in milliseconds at fraction of the cost. This is one of the big risks to Indian global capacity centers and software companies. On Feb 5th, the company made one more announcement with the launch of Agent Teams. What this team does is, like, it will allow multiple Claude agents to work together. For example, one writes the code, other test sheets, and third writes the document without human coordination. So this is a significant development. Also, we can see that it has 1 million token context window. So, which means that it has a massive memory and it is reportedly outperforms OpenAI 5.2 model on professional benchmarks. In the right here, you can see how this Opus 4.6 model compares with other existing AI tools. And you can see that it significantly outperforms the existing tools. This tool is aggressively targeting complex workflows that were previously safe zone of human managers and high-end software. We see that there were certain relief rallies. This is because we had certain good comments coming from CEO of NVIDIA. So his view is that AI agents will use software tools like Salesforce or Adobe and not replace them. His argument is that if you invent a new screwdriver, just because you have a robot hand, the robot still needs the tool. Without the tool, it will not be able to perform the operations. So because of his positive statement, stating that this tool will not entirely replace the industry, we, in between we saw certain relief rallies. If we look at US markets, we have companies like Reuters falling around 18% on this announcement. You can have a look at the remaining companies in the screen here. Let's take one example of Salesforce. This company is predominantly into sales and customer service automation. Now let's say HSBC is one company using this software. Earlier, we had 10 resources using this software. Let's assume cost to use this software is $150 per month. So in the earlier method, like Salesforce would have got 10 into 150, so which is around $1,500 per month as their revenue. Now, if we use Cloud Sales plugin, we will need only 1% to review the final outcome. The amount HSBC pays to Salesforce is only $150 per month now, as they need only one licenses and all other licenses will now be redundant. This scenario is called empty seat crisis. This results to clients gaining efficiencies and vendors losing revenue. Companies like Salesforce lose significant revenue. Most of the product-based companies are in US. This is the main reason why US stocks are falling on this announcement. Now, if you look at Indian companies, Nifty IT has fallen around 7%, Infosys around 9%, and TCS 7.2%. Now, let's take Infosys as an example and understand how Indian IT companies are affected. Let's say HSBC has given contract to Infosys to replace its legacy core finance system to latest SAP solution. To complete this project, 50 junior employees and 5 senior employees are required to analyze the requirements, write code, execute test cases, and validate the results. In this scenario, Infosys will bill HSBC $50K per week. Now, if the same work is done using Cloud Migration Agent, most of the code review validations are done by this agent, and we now only need 5 senior employees to review the output. Infosys can now only bill $10K per week. This agent works 24 by 7 and it can finish the task with significant less amount of time. So the project gets completed faster. Additionally, Infosys should train lakhs of its employees to use the agent, and If they are on bench, the cost has to be borne by the company. Now, Indian companies like TCS and Infosys earn revenue on billing hours. If these hours drop, then their margins also drop significantly. If a project team completes 10,000 of hours deliverables in 100 hours using AI, then there will be a significant impact to P&L. Because of these reasons, Indian IT stocks are correcting. Now, if US companies want to reduce risk, then they will have to move from per seat model to per outcome based model. This transaction or the transition will happen slowly, and Indian companies will have to move from low margin, high volume model to high margin, low volume contracts. Like they will have to get into high value consulting and architecting solutioning, etc. Currently, there are regulatory implications as well. EU is considering to come up with EU AI Act to classify the agents and the liabilities it will have to face if it deletes company's database by mistake. They are also considering to bring agentic taxes to offset the potential revenue loss by displacing human workforce. If you find this video interesting, please like, share and subscribe to my channel. It will encourage me to come up with more such topics. If you are using the Cloud Coworks tool or if you are working in IT companies, you can let me know your thoughts and the changes you are observing in your organizations in the comment section. If you want to suggest any topic, you can do so by commenting below in the video. Thank you all for staying tuned till now. Hope you got to learn something new and interesting today. Thank you.